In the quiet halls of Rikers Island, Tandra Bowser Williams was known as the heart and lifeline of her family. A dedicated corrections captain, she exuded confidence and strength. But behind closed doors, Tandra harbored a secret desire, a longing for a silhouette that matched society's standards of beauty. In pursuit of this elusive ideal, she made a fateful decision that would change her life forever. Little did she know, her journey would end in tragedy, exposing the lethal consequences of aesthetic ambition. But what exactly happened? Let me tell you about Tandra Bowser Williams, a woman who embarked on a journey in search of the perfect silhouette, only to meet a tragic end at the hands of deceptive promises and unscrupulous practices. Picture Tandra, a vibrant corrections captain at Rikers Island, confident and full of life. But beneath her seemingly unshakable demeanor lay a desire for a change, a desire that led her to the Dominican Republic, a land known for its sun-kissed beaches and, unfortunately, its shady medical practices. Tandra's destination was the operating table of Dr. Hector Cabral, a man whose title as a plastic surgeon masked a darker truth. He operated without a valid medical license. Despite his tainted past, Tandra placed her trust in him, believing his assurances that he could sculpt her body into her desired shape. Now imagine the anticipation and hope that filled Tandra's heart as she lay on that operating table, dreaming of the curves she had always longed for. But dreams can quickly turn into nightmares, and for Tandra, that's exactly what happened. Days after her surgery, tragedy struck with the force of a sledgehammer. Tandra suffered a massive stroke, a cruel twist of fate that snatched her away from her loved ones and shattered their lives forever. Her husband, Curtis Williams, left to grapple with grief and disbelief, recounted her unwavering confidence in Dr. Cabral's abilities, despite his dubious past. But Tandra's story isn't just one of personal tragedy. It's a warning beacon illuminating the dangers of seeking cosmetic procedures abroad. The signs were there: Dr. Cabral's indictment, the tales of botched surgeries and permanent disfigurement. Yet Tandra, like so many others, fell prey to false promises and misplaced trust. And what followed her untimely death? Silence. No investigation, no accountability. Just a grieving family left to pick up the pieces of their shattered lives, while the man responsible for their anguish continued his practice without consequences. But that's not all. There's another case I want to explore with you all. Melissa Kerr, a woman whose quest for confidence ended in tragedy, highlighting the perilous risks of cosmetic surgery tourism. Think of Melissa, a woman from Norfolk, England, navigating through life with a lingering sense of self-consciousness about her appearance. Like many, she dreamed of feeling comfortable and confident in her own skin. So when the opportunity arose for her to undergo a Brazilian butt lift (BBL) surgery in Turkey, she grasped it tightly, hoping it would be the key to unlocking her newfound confidence. Driven by her desire for a curvier figure, Melissa traveled to Turkey, drawn by the allure of affordable cosmetic procedures and the promise of a transformative experience. But little did she know, her journey would take a devastating turn. Upon arriving at the private Medicana Haznedar Hospital in Istanbul, Melissa was provided with only scant information regarding the risks associated with the surgery. In the whirlwind of excitement and anticipation, she was not adequately informed of the potential dangers that lay ahead. Tragically, Melissa's dreams of a new silhouette were shattered on the very day of her surgery. As she lay on the operating table, hope flickering in her heart, fate dealt her a cruel hand. The procedure that was meant to enhance her appearance instead claimed her life, leaving her loved ones to grapple with shock and grief. In the aftermath of Melissa's untimely death, the senior coroner for Norfolk, Jacqueline Lake, voiced grave concerns about the growing trend of cosmetic surgery tourism. She highlighted the lack of standardized pre-assessment procedures and the insufficient information provided to patients regarding the risks involved. Responding to these concerns, UK health officials expressed their intention to engage in dialogue with their Turkish counterparts. Their goal? To establish a regulatory framework that prioritizes patient safety and reduces the risks associated with cosmetic procedures abroad. Melissa's tragic experience serves as a poignant reminder of the dangers lurking behind the glossy facade of cosmetic surgery tourism. It underscores the urgent need for greater transparency, standardized procedures, and international collaboration to safeguard the well-being of individuals seeking cosmetic enhancements. You're flipping through glossy magazines or scrolling through Instagram, and all you see are pictures of sculpted backsides, tempting you with the promise of curves in all the right places. It's no wonder that BBL surgeries have skyrocketed in popularity in recent years, with individuals flocking to cosmetic surgeons in search of that coveted hourglass figure. But behind the allure of a fuller derriere lies a sobering truth. BBL surgeries come with a higher risk profile than many other cosmetic procedures. In fact, statistics paint a chilling picture, revealing that the mortality rate associated with BBLs is at least 10 times higher than that of other cosmetic surgeries. Yes, you heard that right, 10 times higher. Now, you might be wondering, what makes BBLs so risky? Well, let's break it down. One of the most serious complications associated with BBLs is pulmonary thromboembolism, a fancy term for a blood clot that travels to the lungs and can be fatal. This is precisely what claimed the life of Melissa Kerr, sending shockwaves through the medical community and prompting urgent calls for action. But the dangers of BBLs don't stop there. From infection and bleeding to fat embolism syndrome, a rare but potentially deadly condition where injected fat enters the bloodstream, the list of potential complications is enough to make anyone think twice before going under the knife. Now, here's where things get even more concerning. In countries that offer healthcare tourism, like the Dominican Republic or Turkey, where individuals flock for cheaper procedures, standard pre-assessment procedures often fall by the wayside. Imagine undergoing major surgery without a thorough medical evaluation or being fully informed of the risks involved. It's a recipe for disaster. Informed consent and patient safety should always be top priorities, yet all too often they're overlooked in the pursuit of aesthetic perfection. Melissa Kerr's tragic death serves as a sobering reminder of the need for greater regulation, transparency, and accountability in the cosmetic surgery industry. A world where individuals can confidently pursue cosmetic enhancements without fear of risking their lives. It's not just a dream, it's a goal within reach. But it requires a collective effort to make it a reality. First and foremost, we need to explore measures to mitigate the risks associated with cosmetic surgeries, particularly Brazilian butt lifts. This means implementing stricter regulations, conducting thorough preoperative assessments, and ensuring that patients are fully informed of the potential risks and complications. Education is key, both for healthcare providers and individuals considering cosmetic procedures, so that everyone involved understands the gravity of the decision at hand. But it doesn't stop there. Transparency, standardization, and international collaboration are essential ingredients in the recipe for safer cosmetic surgery practices. Imagine a world where medical standards are consistent across borders, where patients can trust that the care they receive meets the highest international benchmarks. It's not just wishful thinking, it's a vision that can be realized through open dialogue, shared best practices, and a commitment to putting patient safety above all else. So what can we do to turn this vision into a reality? It starts with a call to action for regulatory bodies, healthcare providers, and individuals alike. Regulatory bodies must enact and enforce stringent guidelines to ensure that cosmetic surgery clinics adhere to the highest standards of safety and professionalism. Healthcare providers must prioritize patient well-being over profit margins, taking the time to thoroughly assess each patient's suitability for surgery and providing comprehensive post-operative care. And individuals considering cosmetic procedures must approach the decision with caution and mindfulness, recognizing that beauty should never come at the expense of health and safety. What are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.